Om. 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 Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Satgurum Tam Namami Shrutismritipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punav Punaha Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Vande Guru-paramparam Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Bhajagovindam Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhajamudamate Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dhukrin Karane Mudhajahi Dhanagama Trishnam Kuru Sadbuddhim Manasi Vitrishnam Yallabhase Nija Karmopatam Vittam Tena Vinodaya Chittam Naristana Bharanabhidesham Drishtva Magamohavesham Etanmam Savasadi Vikaram Manasi Vichintaya Varam Varam Nalini Dalagata Jalamati Taralam Tadvajivitamati Shaya Chapalam Vidhi Vyadhyabhimanagrastam Lokam Shokahatam Chasamastam Yavat Vittoparjana Saktaha Tavan Nija Parivaro Raktaha Paschajivati Jarjara Dehe Vartam Kopi na Pritchati Gehe Gatavati Vayau Deha Paye Yavat Pavano Nivasati Dehe Tavat Pritchati Kushalam Gehe Gatavati Vayau Deha Paye Bharya Bibhyati Tasmin Kaye Balastavat Krida Saktaha Tarunastavat Tarni Saktaha Vriddhastavat Chinta Saktaha परसे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारोऽयमतीव विचित्रः कस्य त्वं कः कुत आयातः तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रातः सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वम् निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्त्वं निश्चलतत्त्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः वयसि गते कः कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः मा कुरु धनजन यौवन गर्वं हरति निमेषत्कालः सर्वम् मायामयमिदमखिलं बुद्ध्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा दिनयामिन्यौ सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तौ पुनरायातः कालः क्रीडति गच्छत्यायुः तदपि न मुञ्चत्याशापायुः
Shall I read from 11th chapter then? 11th sloka?
Yes.
Yesterday we did until 10.
Correct.
So, today we're going to do the... Okay. When once the vasanas have ended, the cause has been... Oh, did I... So this is the 11th, right?
Do you want to do this
The last
10th one more time? Yeah, 10th we'll do one more time and then we'll go on to...
Okay, sorry.
Are you able to read, Dr. Mara, or you have any difficulty?
Raining here for this whole week. When I first start, it's kind of a little bit shaky. Then after that, I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let me
know if you need any help.
If I need help,
I'm happy to read.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Actually, these two shlokas, the 9th and 10th, are very
very
apt,
important.
very important. It's okay to repeat them actually. So you would want to do 9 also, 9 and 10. We'll do a reading and then we'll go on to 11.
No problem. Actually, it's very effective, right? These two slokas. I kept
This is
thinking
actually
about it.
the path given.
Yeah, it's very clear and then very nice. Through the company of the good, there arises non-attachment. Through non-attachment, there arises freedom from delusion. When there is freedom from delusion, there is immutable reality. On experiencing immutable reality, there comes the state of liberated in life. Seek Govind, seek Govind. From all that has been said so far, it is very clear that to live in the world, earning and saving is not in itself a real profit. To live in attachment is certainly an ill-rewarding program of existence. To waste our life in the lusts and passions of passion of our flesh is dissipating ourselves in all our faculties. Through Pratibhaksha Bhavana, we must try to withdraw from them all and spend the energy so conserved in seeking and serving Govind. So this paragraph is almost everything about our outward um, liking of our things. So next paragraph, it is easy to appreciate the logic of this philosophy, but not always so easy to appreciate its canons, and indeed it is almost impossible all of a sudden to live its recommended way of life. This difficulty is experienced by all students of philosophy everywhere at all times. All true philosophers must appreciate this logical difficulty in the student and provide for him various practical methods by which the poor seeker, in his frail spiritual strength at this moment, may be helped to walk the path. So, someone want to pursue the spiritual path, and they are like starting to be a seeker as well as frail, like not really there with their spiritual strength. How do they go about getting there?
And
Else,
also, this understanding this logic is easy. That you
yeah,
have to,
right.
detach yourself from the world. You have
Mhm.
to not focus so much on just earning and saving and getting lost in the three P's: play,
Right.
passion, and
Yeah.
pangs. All that is fine. As a concept, you understand. But how do you actually get there? When you actually do it, it's impractical.
Right. So in
So the
words, it's so
pathway,
easy to
yeah.
say, but in action, we have to do it on an
So
everyday basis.
what is the way to do it? How do we go about it? That is the
Mm.
way. That is how satsanga helps. That is
Helps,
the
right?
it is like you're yoking yourself. That is the rope with which we yoke ourselves with to the
Right.
divine. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's kind of going step by step. So it's so easy to understand by reading it again. Else, philosophy itself would become an impractical utopia. Acharya Shankara talked directly to his devotees at all times. His is not the style of the Rishi declarations, wherein the inspired seer, closing his eyes, roared and thundered in panting words of his infinite joy of the impossible, which he has rendered possible. These frightening commandments, gushing down from the soft flowing hearts of the peaceful masters, constitute the Upanishads. Shankara, the commentator, serving as a missionary in the country with a definite goal of cultural revival to be achieved, never seems to forget the quality and caliber of his listeners' intellect. So, this is the point, right? Shankara, the commentator, serving as a missionary in the country with the definite goal of cultural revival to be achieved, never seems to forget the quality and caliber of his listeners' intellect. Very
It is
nicely
like
said.
the rishis, yeah, the rishis,
Mm-hmm.
after having realized, they would say, Aham Brahmasmi. So they're in that state.
Right.
But
Like in the
not
Eureka
every
moment,
not
right?
every realized soul
Yeah.
can be a teacher, can be someone who leads the masses. See, like even Ramana Maharshi, he
Yeah.
was an enlightened soul, but he was majorly silent.
Right.
In fact, silence would be mainly his. He would just ask so simple questions. Ask yourself, who am I? Who am I?
Yeah.
People would flock to him, but he was not going to the masses. Whereas Shankaracharya, at
Yeah.
that young age, he traveled the length and breadth of India
Mm.
only to cause this cultural revival, set up these different, centers, and and he came down to ground level. He's also, of course, an enlightened master, but he came down to ground level, to the level of his devotees, of his of the common man, and therefore gave all most of his compositions are easy to comprehend, easy to understand. Simple examples, like in the Atma Bodh,
Yeah,
it's replete with so
Atmabodh,
many examples
Tattvabodh,
that
all
we
that.
normally see around, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ghataka,
So, so
Ghataka,
grateful to Shankaracharya for having
yeah,
done that. Otherwise, there's no connect between
yeah.
realized masters and spiritual seekers like us. So
When I
he
read
was the
about this,
bridge.
yeah, Rishi declarations, roared and thundered in chanting words,
Yeah,
like the way their eureka moment is been said,
correct.
like, yeah, so there's something impossible to possible, but
Yeah.
then they may not be able to explain it completely to
Mm,
their disciples or somebody, right? I mean, he made
right.
it so easy to understand,
Yeah.
and that's the bottom line, you know.
That's the bottom line there. Yeah.
Yeah. In the stanza under review, Shankara gives a simple ladder of progress by carefully climbing which a seeker can comfortably arrive at the highest reaches of perfection. In spite of our appreciation of the rationale in the philosophy so far discussed, the fact still is that we are living every hour of. I just wanted to ask the other day, Saralaji asking something to read. I'm sure this was not the one, that next one. I'll read it, but again, I just wanted to know if she has any request, she can always ask me. In spite of our appreciation of the rationale in the philosophy so far discussed, the fact still is that we are living every hour of our existence amidst temptations of life, where wealth and woman are the main enchantments. Artificially, I can build up an intellectual barrier against my fashions and lust. um, and thus I may restrain them from their onward flow for some time. But the objects of fascination are so numerous and their enchantments so powerful that the mighty sorcery of the sensuous world is too irresistible for an individual seeker to fight against. So here he really explains how we are.
So basically, the effect of Maya is so strong.
Mhm. So how we get it out of this Maya?
Patiyasi, yeah,
Yeah.
aghatita ghatana, patiyasi Maya. So
Mhm.
you can artificially build something, like for you can restrain yourself, say for some time. It will work only for some time. I don't want to, uh,
Try to
watch
control the
watch
senses
something.
and
Yeah, I don't want to go after wealth women or the opposite sex. You can say that for some time, but how long can you restrain yourself?
right.
Overpowering nature of the world is such that it will topple you again.
This is like that one example we read, right? I don't know where we read that. That guy was trying to say he's like a cat, and then
Mm,
he's trying to stay inside uh,
mm.
some delusion. Anyway, in order to reinforce the effects of a student in his early days of seeking and to give him more courage and strength. So, in order to reinforce the efforts of a student in his early days of seeking and to give him more courage and strength, how nice. Shankara advises him to have plenty of the company of the good, satsang. As a result of the practice of Pratibhaksha Bhavana, the student is no doubt holding the company of good thoughts within himself. See, holding the company of the good thoughts within himself. This is to protect him from the rising waves of passions within. So it really protecting from the rising waves of passions within. But in order to fight against the hordes of temptations in the everyday world, he needs a fortress around him, which is drawn from his association with the good people. That good people, as I read yesterday, company of the good, directly with the living teachers, learned pandits, cultured men, and sincere seekers. If these are not available, then indirectly through great books. So here, basically, he talked about how he gives the strength to the student and to pursue his seeking through more courage and the strength with the company of the good, that is the satsang. The company that we keep is very important. The worldly seekers are carelessly choosing their friends and are indiscriminate in choosing their associations. Again, the company that we keep is very important. The worldly seekers are carelessly choosing their friends and are indiscriminate in choosing their associations. The chances are that he, in spite of his knowledge and determination, will be snatched away in bad company by the powerful waves of blind fashions. To be in the company of the good is to be with those who are devotees of the Lord and are themselves seekers of the highest. In such an assembly, there is a power created which in the congregation erects a powerful fortress against the magic of the world outside. So, the company of the good that kind of creates that help to create that the fortress around against this magic of the world outside,
Yeah.
like about the
So
world
whenever we
outside.
are in when we have a choice,
Mm,
see, satsanga, if we can all imagine, is like building a fortress around
mm,
against the world of Maya. So
mhm,
when we have a choice at every point, and we have a choice of satsanga versus not satsanga, if all sincere seekers will have to automatically opt for the satsanga.
mm.
That is something that will help build a strong fortress. I mean, it'll strengthen this fortress that we have that will
Right.
protect
So
us
you're
from.
not, yeah, it kind
Yeah,
of direct you to the achieving your goal.
yeah. That
And
is where the role of Shama and Dama come in. Viveka, of
right.
course, comes in. All of them
Mhm.
actually. Viveka, Vairagya, Shama,
Like, yeah.
Dama.
Mhm.
Isn't it? Supposing you
Yeah,
have a
definitely. Yeah.
choice of watching a movie versus
Mhm.
attending, say, a discourse or attending some satsang somewhere.
Mhm.
So, what is the choice that you make? So, there comes in Viveka, there comes in a bit of Dhamma to control your
Mhm.
senses, and then take the decision. I will stay with this. So,
Right.
slowly, step by step, unless we do this at every point where we have this choice, initially we'll have to do this to strengthen ourselves. Once we've done that, then it becomes like choiceless. You will automatically gravitate towards this. Then there will not be so much of a conflict in the mind. Conflict comes only in the beginning, when the mind is drawn between that and this, isn't
Right.
it? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, even if you don't want to, you have some other excuse. No, no, I want to listen to this this class. I cannot miss, like that. That's how it feels like nowadays. Um, so you try to wind down, everything before 7 o'clock and get ready for this. You know. Anyway, this is very nice. As a result of the influence of the good company, the human mind develops steadily a capacity to withdraw from the sensuous fields of attraction and thus discovers in itself the secret of detachment. Again, as a result of influence of the good company, the human mind develops steadily a capacity to withdraw from sensuous fields of attraction. Like you said, like sama, I mean, this is dhamma, right? Sensuous field of attraction. thus discovers in itself secret of detachment. So that goes on to getting nisangatvam. When the sense of attachment is sponged away from the inner bosom, delusion, moha, and all the delusory false values that we give to the world can no more remain. It is always the mind that puts a value upon the objects, and thereafter the inert objects of the world become capable of enchanting that mind. So it is always the mind that puts a value upon the objects, and thereafter the inert objects of the world become capable of enchanting that mind. So this is about the Nisangatvam.
This is about the Shobhana Dhyasa, where the mind puts false, gives false value, false value to things.
But then it's just an object. That's how we have to get rid of that, right? When once the mind has started seeing the things as they are, because the mind has redeemed itself from its own vasana incrustations, the immutable reality is glimpsed by that mind. When this experience becomes more and more established in us, that individual becomes a God realized saint, liberated in life, Jivan Mukta. The stanza reminds us of the ladder of fall that Gita describes. Dr. Brahmara, you sang that from yesterday.
Yeah. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangastheshupajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. So these two shlokas we keep in mind. One is the ladder of success. The other is the ladder of downfall. The satsangatve nisangatvam is the ladder of success. And this one, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha from the Bhagavad Gita is the ladder of downfall.
Yeah. So Dhyayato Vishayan and the Krodhat Bhavati.
Yeah.
So those 62 and 63. When a man
both, so actually surprisingly both arise as a thought, isn't it? The thought of satsanga is also a thought.
Right.
Whereas you
it's
have
all
the
mind.
It's
right?
all in the mind, yeah.
Mind, yeah.
How you direct it.
Yeah. So basically the sense objects is a key thing here. When a man thinks of objects, attachment for them arises. From attachments, desire is born. From desire arises anger. From anger comes delusion. From delusion, loss of memory. From loss of memory, the destruction of discrimination. From destruction of discrimination, he perishes. So this is like a flow chart, it goes one to the other, like
the downward spiral.
The downward spiral, right? And then the upward climb is the other way, like Nishangatvam, and then the, what do you call it?
Satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam.
Right,
see, that's taking you out of delusion. Here you're getting deluded, whereas there it's taking you out of delusion. Nirmohatve nischala tattvam. What a lovely state to be in, isn't it? Rather than get deluded and you lose your memory and you do and things, say and do things which is not your nature.
Right. Satsangatve nisangvatam and then nirmohatvam.
Nisangatve nirmohatvam. Nirmohatve nischalatatvam. Nischalatatve jivan muktihi.
Okay, nischalatatve jivan muktihi. Right. So this is
So
one,
it is
two,
such an
three,
important,
4 steps. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
So no, it is such an important that
Mm-hmm.
we should create friendship of good men, good persons,
Good
right from the
woman too.
childhood. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
that association is important.
Association only makes a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
difference.
yeah,
So we
definitely.
should be
Association of
very careful
seekers.
while breeding the children also.
Yeah.
Which company they are putting up
That
with
is
friends.
why all the missions, for instance, Chinmaya mission has this Bal Vihar.
Yes,
Art
yeah,
of Living
Balvia.
has this Sanskar Kendra. That's such a beautiful workshop
Beautiful concept.
that
Mm,
Yes.
seeds the children with good cultural values, with spiritual values.
true.
See,
Mm.
the downward ladder gives the diagnosis, how it happens.
But the
And
sad thing is,
upward,
not
upward,
everybody realizes that, like
yeah,
this.
but
Oh, what is Ramayana going to do? What is Mahabharata going to do? It's like that, that happened so long ago, and things like that. And but I do see a lot of people in Bay Area. They go to Chinmaya Mission. They have other places to go to too. So anyway, as much as possible, the more we educate ourselves, it will spread
yes,
to people in the family, everything.
And why is this important is to root out all the vasanas. See,
Yeah.
over the lifetimes, we've all accumulated different vasanas. That's why we each have different tendencies.
Mm,
So, unless we
true.
redirect our mind and do this climb against the vasanas,
Mm-hmm.
against our natural tendency to go towards the world, that is the little bit of purushartha required, that little effort required on the
Mm-hmm.
part of every seeker.
True.
It will not just happen like that. You can't say, oh, Guru's grace will take care. Guru's grace is there, but you have to start
Make a
walking.
effort. Yeah.
You take that one step. Of course, he will take those 99 steps. That one step you have to take.
Yeah.
so
You
this
know,
upward ladder is the solution for the
Right.
diagnosis. Once we know the diagnosis, so what is the solution? So this is the Sangat, Satsangam, this, that. Very, very good. So if you put children like art excel and all that, their mind becomes clear, clarity of
You
mind will be
won't
there.
you won't believe it. Even those
Yes.
the thing sutras like laugh and let go, they stay
Mm.
with them. It's like
Yes.
you planted those seeds, and whenever the time is appropriate, later on in their any situation, it comes to their mind. It helps them. Even as much as just breathing. Take a deep breath in. So
Yeah.
many times my children have told me when I would get upset and angry, when they were younger, of course. So they had done these courses, they would say, Amma, just take a deep breath. They would remind me.
So good. Yes.
So
yeah, that's true. So, glancing over the contents of, oh, I didn't read this part here. I did the Gita describes. Okay. Glancing over the contents of these two stanzas, it is evidently clear that the Gita is showing the ladder of the downward fall, while Shankara is showing the ladder of the upward climb. There is yet another reading of the stanza where instead of immutable reality, nishalatvam, we have steadfastness, nishalitatvam, nishalitatvam.
one is Nischala Tattvam, the
Yeah.
other one is Nischali Tattvam. Nischali Tattvam is that
Okay.
steadfastness. Yeah.
Maybe the spelling here didn't say tattvam.
Yeah.
It says
Yeah.
nishal.
That is
Yeah.
the problem with the English transliteration.
Translation. Yeah. So nishala tattvam and the nichali tattvam. Okay. And when the delusion, that's what I was keep reading it again and again. It does say that yesterday you kept saying tattvam, I couldn't figure it out. what it's saying here. I think
That
here
I
it
is
says,
there. I is there.
yeah, Nichala Tattvam, and then here
That is the
Nichali
clarity.
Tattvam. Yeah.
Nishchalitatam is steadfastness.
Mm. When the delusion of the mind is wiped away, mind gains a steadfastness. So the delusion is wiped away, it gains a steadfastness in meditation. With this steadfast meditation, it is steadfast means it's like a steady, right? That the meditation, the experience of the highest and the consequent state of liberation in life is easily attained. That is a Jivan Mukti is easily attained. So,
See, this is what we've learned also in karma.
mm,
What are required according to the Bhagavad Gita is Atma.
you mean the single pointedness?
Not just the single pointedness.
Uh,
Atma Shuddhi, Antakarana Shuddhi is required, and
right, right.
Antakarana Naishchalya. These are
Naichalya.
the two requirements in order to get that knowledge dawn in you. Right?
Yeah.
Antakarana Shuddhi happens when you get out of Raga Dveshas. So
Mm.
here with Satsanga, your Raga Dveshas are getting thinner and thinner.
Maybe we need to meet every day for for 10 minutes and do some satsanga.
No, breathing exercises
Uh,
gives you the clarity of mind. That
it does.
Nishchalatattvam.
Yeah, sure.
Nishchalatattvam. Daily, if you
Yes.
practice,
Mm.
that will give that, and we are in the
Nishala.
positive mode, you know,
Mm. That's
that
And
good.
now
Mm.
we teach in the
That is why,
basic course,
yeah, that is
that
For
why
emotional,
Pramaraji added no this chanting at the end. That is
mm,
kind of singing only, no. That is
mm.
very important. Balancing the right brain and left brain, no.
it's
It is
true,
important.
but
Little
then
bit thinking.
For
when you sing it
emotional
here,
cleansing,
yeah,
satsanga singing is essential.
yeah, when you sing it yourself, that you are communicating with God. That is what that whole thing about singing about, however you sing it, when you say it, some things, then you are connecting with God directly, so that's what that is. I mean, we can hear it, that's a different thing than doing it yourself. At least that's what I feel like. Anyway, that's good. We'll all, maybe we'll do some satsanga one of these days, Saturday or something like that, if Dr. Brahmara and everybody agrees. So, shall we
but
go?
let's not forget the definition of satsanga.
Yeah,
One understanding is singing. That is what most people understand. Satsang is singing. It is not sat and sang. It is all. It is mainly the main meaning of satsanga is to be in the company of the truth,
good. Yeah, yeah,
company of the good, company of the teacher, company of seekers, like what was explained here.
yeah.
So, of
Yeah,
course,
like
even daily
here
bit of
he
singing.
explained, but that's also another one about that I was just saying, like we do
Yeah,
it every day only, and now we are in the class and doing it. And it would help us to also, the more you say it, it helps to understand more. And at least in my part, like you said, like Nana said, to read that um, Bhagavad Gita every day. So the more you read it, and we're trying to understand the words, right? I mean, it's
yeah.
one of those things, especially like the Sanskrit word, we used to blindly read it. Now
Mm.
it makes sense, to
Isn't
understand.
it? It
Yeah,
makes a little sense. In fact, Bhajagovindam and Tattva Bodh, Atma Bodh, they're all now they'll even as we chant, some of the meanings you'll be able to understand.
yeah. You won't believe, like when I was in med school, my roommate, yeah, my junior roommate sings very well. So I was asking her, hey, how did you learn? My mom taught me. So her mom lived right at opposite to my medical college. So then I asked her, can you teach me the slokas? That's how I learned this Bhajagovindam that time. That time they have a short version of Bhajagovindam. I learned only few slokas. So this one has 33. So anyway, I will learn more now with the meaning. It's good.
And
Please.
Brahmradi, it is so useful, for me to go through this Govindam thing again and Atma Bodha. It's really opening from inside.
Mm.
It is all through satsanga. When first time we read it, it just went across my head, over my head. But it's really working.
Yeah.
So this is the
It
beauty
has,
of
see,
satsanga.
over times immemorial, this has worked. So why won't it work now? See, we
Yeah.
have those little doubts in us. We think it's insurmountable. Oh, I don't think I can attain this in this Janma.
Yeah.
All those little doubts happen. But that is what this very beautifully Swami Chinmayananda said. For the frail spiritual strength, in order to give them encouragement and strength, this
Yeah.
is Shankara's formula.
Very true.
Sangha.
And they, as you rightly said, as the company, so is the color.
Mm.
Actually, we learned
Also,
all this Bhajagovindam when I was going to Chinmaya Mission's Balvihar. There only I learned this Bhajagovindam. But I was little understanding it. Later on, I only picked it. Now it is very detailed. So nice. Step by
Like
step,
yeah. And when you chant the Bhaj Govindam, the shlokas, I mean, I really enjoy and, with that rhythmic thing, it's really blissful.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes. Can I make a suggestion here? Can
Yeah,
we
please go ahead.
can we also in this group only maybe learn one shloka every day to sing together?
Yeah.
I
Actually, in the
so
starting, when
we can
the
do
chant
it.
is going on,
Yeah.
I think all of us can mute ourselves and then chant along. That will
Yeah,
be
then we will have to start from the first shloka then.
yeah. We'll
yeah,
start
Anyway,
because
every
all of us
morning.
are not
see, every
at least I am not capable of reading Sanskrit on my own, but when I hear it, I'm able to repeat it. So
see,
that's why.
Brahmaraji, yeah,
Understand?
Brahmaraji anyway, every day she chants, no? So we are on mute. So immediately after, maybe we will request her to repeat it one more time. So we can, on our own, we can repeat behind her, no?
Yeah, we'll do
That
that,
way,
Sumaji.
that is better.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That I do want you to know, like in YouTube, if you look at Bhajagovindam thing, it only will give you 10 minutes. It's only select verses like that. The others are like 12 verses or something like that. But if you want to have 33 verses, all 33 verses, you have to select certain things. The one, it was from shoreslogam.org. I don't know, yesterday you guys listened. It has English, Sanskrit, and then in the bottom it gives English, and then it gives small tatparya also in that one.
That you are sharing, no, every day.
Yeah.
That is the one has all the 33 shlokas.
Right, it does. But they also have short version also. But then when we are scaring, I have to scroll up. Otherwise, it doesn't scroll up by itself.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Are you guys all can share for this verse? Shall we move on, or anybody
Yeah, we'll
wants
move
to?
on. We'll move on.
Okay. So you already read the sloka, right, Dr. Brahmara? Should I read this again?
Yeah. Vayasi. No. What is that? Vayasi gate kah kama vikarah शुष्के नीरे कह का सारः क्षीणे वित्ते कह परिवारो ज्ञाते तत् तत्वे कः संसारः.
So what is
Once again, you can say
Savita
we
ji
will
is
repeat
there?
it with you. Brahmaraji.
Yeah, okay. We'll start with that. Vayasi gate kah kama vikarah.
Vayasi gate kah kama vikarah.
शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः. ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारो.
ज्ञाते तत्त्वे
Sorry, I think I missed one.
Shine
क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो.
क्षीणे
वित्ते कः परिवारो.
ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः.
ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः.
वयसि गते कः कामविकारः.
वयसि गते कः कामविकारः.
शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः.
शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः.
क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो.
क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो.
ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः.
ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः.
भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते.
भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते.
I have a suggestion. I know we'll be. This is nice to do it on this group, but maybe I will check out for any learning aids on the net. Number one, second, I can chant just one shloka and repeat it myself. So then you can just play the audio, and any number of times you can go through. That way you'll get even more into the chanting, right? So then we can restrict. We can use this time to read and do manana. Right? So that is the suggestion I have. Yeah,
that's such a brilliant suggestion.
Dr. Brahmara, we just create one, like we had the Gita group. We should do the Bhajagovindam group. We can do one.
No, I can post it in the group only.
No, I know you do, but I'm just saying, like, it will help us to keep up with it for time being. I feel that way. Like, I mean, I don't know. It'd be nice to say that
the group
we practice ourselves. Yeah,
can revive that group. Yeah, no issues.
Yeah. Okay. So, Savita ji, you want to do the meaning, or shall I just go for it? I think we did this meaning yesterday. When the youthfulness has passed, where is the lust and its play? When water is evaporated, where is the lake? When the wealth is reduced, where are the retinue? When the truth is realized, where is samsar? Seek Govind, seek Govind. The four epigrammatic statements Shankara drives home to the student's understanding that where the cause has ended, the effects cannot continue. When age and its youthfulness have passed away, where is lust and its play? The maddening lust of blinding fashion can remain with one only so long as the skin is tight, the muscles are hard, the blood is stormy, and the individual is young and hearty. Lust springs only from youthfulness. When the cause is removed, the effects cannot remain all by themselves. when the waters are dried up, so this is the next example. So we talked about youthfulness, and then when the youthfulness is gone, that what is that you were talking about? When youthfulness is gone, where is the lust and its play? So then when the water is dried up, when the waters are dried up, the lake can no longer continue to exist. The dried up lake or tank can only express as the bed. Only when waters are there that they can express themselves as lake or tank and serve the world as such. So long as the waters of the desire are playing in the mind, the passionate youth vigorously strives to fulfill them. But when once these desires have dried up, how can the man of action strive to acquire and quote? So this one is about the water in the lake. It evaporates and then there is no water anymore. Like that, the passionate youth vigorously strive to fulfill the desire. Yeah. When the desire dries up, the man of action tried to acquire and quote. What he is talking about. But when once these desires have dried up, how can the man of action try to acquire and quote? I see. When the wealth is reduced, where are the relations, dependents, supporters, in short, one's entire retinue? They follow behind an individual only so long as he can look after them. They can profit by him. When the capacity in the individual has ended, the retinue also disappears. And the wealth is an uncertain possession. Nobody can say when and how she quotes an individual, or when she will, without regret, shamelessly push him into penury and starvation and depart in another direction toward another individual. With these three examples, it is clear that when the cause is absent and the effect is also absent. So when the cause is absent, the effect is also absent. Carrying this analogy into the subjective realms of spiritual perfection, Shankara asked the question, when the truth is realized, where is samsara? The ignorance of the post gives us the delusionary vision of the ghost and the consequent fears. At the non-apprehension of the reality, misapprehensions start, and they provide the hosts of sorrow for the deluded. Due to the vasana fumes called ignorance, avidya, the perfection is not experienced, and therefore man, revolting against his own sense of imperfections, desires, plans, works, and strives to acquire and possess the outer world, whereby he hopes that he can seek a fuller fulfillment in life. So this is about that. After three examples, they're talking about how people misapprehend the ghost. Instead of the post, they see the ghost. Like that, they get all thinking that all the other worldly stuff will fulfill their life.
Is using that ghost and post example only to give us an indication that once you realize the truth, once you know what is illusion, what is not, what is real, what is unreal, then there is no hold of samsara on you.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Through the processes explained in the previous stanza, when the vasanas have been eliminated, meaning when the ignorance of the reality is ended, all the misconceptions also must end. So, again, through the processes explained in the previous stanza, when the vasanas have been eliminated, meaning when the ignorance of the reality is ended, all the misconception also must end. The delusory sense of individuality arising from the myth of the mind and its dream objects constitute the painful sufferer amidst finest objects. So here, Dr. Pramara, they're basically talking about eliminating all the vasanas, right?
Yeah, that's satsangatve nisangatva. That is how we dilute and eliminate the vasanas. Those are the ones that are binding us. In fact, if you remember what Gurudev had said about the photograph and an image in the mirror. So
Right.
vasanas are like you're having taking photographs all the time, and
Mm.
they're hard copies there, and they continue to reel you back into the world of samsara. Your karma keeps forming, and in order to exhaust the karma, you go on coming back into this world of samsara. Whereas when for a man of realization, it is like looking at the image on a mirror. Where is it? It is as though there, but it isn't.
So when the cause is ended, right? So this is the question answer like that, right? The cause is not there, the effect also not there. So when the vasanas are eliminated,
Yeah.
you don't have that delusion.
The cause of samsara is what? Ignorance.
Mm.
Maya. Ignorance is the cause of samsara, right? So when with tattva jnana, with the knowledge of the truth, knowledge of the self, this ignorance is removed, then where is the world, the effect, the samsara is not there.
So the satsanga, the quality of satsanga also matters, because there are, like Gurudev says, 95% of the people in the world are all good people, but how many are interested in this? How many are the seekers? How many are interested in this wisdom? So we need to get into that company, I feel, and this company is good, one we are in now.
That's a good company. When once the vasanas have ended, the cause has been eliminated, and naturally, therefore, the effects cannot exist by themselves. When the truth is realized, where is the empirical phenomenon of finite objects and their unlimited tyrannies? Herein, then, is the cause for our conditionings in our inner life, which in its turn created the chaos of an ego and its meaningless achievements and mad roamings of the individuality. When this inner vasana condition has been changed, the ego has been eliminated. And when there is no ego, the world perceived, felt, thought of must necessarily recede into nothingness. As the phenomenal play of enchantments gets obliterated, the experience of infinite consciousness comes to reveal us the state of truth. And at this experience, the individuality ends, and the universal consciousness becomes the very nature of the meditator. Very meditator. The knower of the Brahman becomes Brahman, and for this there is no other path other than that which was discussed in the previous stanza. Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati Nanyaha Pantaha Vidyate Ayanaya.
Nanyah pantha vidyate ayana. Pantha is a path. There is no other path.
Path? Pantha is path, is it?
Yes, pantha is path.
Okay, got it. Okay. So you read this also, or do we have time for this? Next one, 8 o'clock. So shall I read one?
Yeah, I
next?
think we'll go through this verse because we've not touched upon a new verse today.
Yeah.
Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kalah sarvam मायामयमिदम् अखिलं बुद्ध्वा ब्रह्मपदं त्वं प्रविश विदित्वा भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते.
Ma, do not. Kuru, take. What is this? Dana, in possession.
Shall I read this one?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not sure Dr. Savita ji is here.
No, I am here only. I thought you were reading.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
I've been looking for you since the morning. I mean, sorry.
No, I was there. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ma, do not. Kuru, take.
Mm.
Dhan, in possession. Jan, in the people. Yauvan, in youth. Garv, pride. Hariti, loots way, takes away. Nimeshat, in a moment. Kala, the time. Sarvam, all these. Maya, mayam, full of illusory nature. Idam, this. Akhilam, all. Budhva, after knowing. Brahmpadam, the state of Brahman. Tvam, you. Pravisha, enter into. Viditva, after realizing. Ma kuru dhan jan yauvan garvam hariti nimeshat kalha sarvam maya mayam idam akhilam budva brahmpadam tvam pravisha viditva. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam.
Yeah, I remember reading this one. Ma kuru dana jana yavana garvam haradi nimeshat kala sarvam maya mayamidam akilam bhutva brahmapadam tvam pravisha viditva Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Take no pride in
Very
your
good. Very good.
Thank
Nicely.
you. Thank you, Suresh ji. You know, this is only few slokas I learned. I would like to learn all of it. Thank you.
Full of emotion. Yeah.
Take no pride in your possession, in the people, at your command. So take no pride in your possession, in the people, at your command, in the youthfulness that you have. Time loots away all this in a moment. Leaving aside all this, after knowing their illusory nature, realize the state of Brahman and enter into it. I'll read this one more time. Take no pride in your possession, in the people, in the youthfulness. So no pride in your possession, in the people, and in the youthfulness. Time loots away all this in a moment. Leaving aside all this, after knowing their illusory nature, realize the state of Brahman and enter into it. Okay. Seek Govind, seek Govind. False vanities and hollow conceits tie man to the wheel of woe in life, samsara. So false vanities and hollow conceits tie man to the wheel of woe in life, samsara. The empirical process of change and consequent jerks affect man only when he keeps the relationship of himself with the world of objects, feelings, and thoughts through his body, mind, and intellect. Again, I'll read this sentence, it's a little long sentence. The empirical process of change, the empirical process of change and the consequent jerks affect man only when he keeps the relationship of himself with the world of objects, feelings, and thoughts through his body, mind, and intellect. By this, he creates a false attitude to things and beings around him as my people, my things, my joys, my ideas, etc. These false vanities throw man out of himself to suffer the storms of finitude and the floods of the change. All these are really the unavoidable contents of the objective world. So, if somebody buy into these objects of world of objects, then through their mind, body, mind, intellect, then they kind of get into unavoidable contents of the objective world. Okay. So actually they kind of put him to suffering, all these things. When wealth, social connections, and family status, so okay, wealth, social connections, and family status, youth, and its vigor, these form the tottering pillars upon which is built the platform of sense enjoyment. This drama of passion and lust can end only in utter dissipation and personality exhaustion. These have been already discussed and clearly shown in the earlier verses. So, this is another paragraph talking about wealth, social connections, and family status, youth, and its vigor. These form the tottering pillars upon which is built the platform of sense enjoyment. This drama of fashion and lust can end only in utter dissipation and personality exhaustion. These have been already discussed and clearly shown in the earlier verses. Wealth is never constant, nor can it ever remain faithful. She must move from hand to hand, visiting all. So the wealth is never constant, nor can it ever remain faithful. She must move from hand to hand, visiting all. Youth can never last for long. Relationship in this world, the social status, popularity, and power, all these are indicated by term people, jana. All these are indicated by term people, jana. All of them entirely depend upon the fancy of the moment. Did I move the 2 pages? Or? No, same page. Okay. All these are indicated by the term people, jana. All of them entirely depend upon the fancy of the moment, the mood of the hour. This world of illusory appearances is a world of preoccupation only to the delusory ego, which springs from one's own identification with the perceiver, feeler, thinker in oneself. like Swami Chinmayananda brought that this perceiver, feeler, thinker in oneself. Seek the knower of it all. The principle that illumines all experiences, Sakshi Chaitanya, in the very core of the one's own bosom. Realize that this consciousness, I am Atma, presiding over all our inner experiences, is the consciousness infinite everywhere, Brahman. This is kind of short one, but it's kind of a little complicated. Shall I read this again, Dr. Brahmara? This is a little bit last paragraph. Let me read this one more time. Sorry. Wealth is never constant, nor can it ever remain faithful. She must move from hand to hand, visiting all. Youth can never last for long. Relationship in this world, the social status, popularity, and power, all these are indicated by term people. That is jana. All of them entirely depend upon the fancy of the moment, mood of the hour. This world of illusory appearances is the field of preoccupation only to the delusory ego, which springs from one's own identification with the perceiver, feeler, thinker in oneself. Seek the knower of it all. Seek the knower of it all, the principle that illumines all experiences, Sakshi Chaitanya, in the very core of the one's own bosom. Realize that this consciousness, I am Atma, presiding over all our inner experiences, is the consciousness infinite everywhere, Brahman. So, please, what time is it now? 8:30. Okay, second one, the next one is a long one, so I don't think we can finish it in short. So please share your thoughts on this. I would like to just read the Tatparya only one more time.
Yeah, can you please read that again?
The Tatparya?
Yeah, Tatparya.
Okay. Take no pride in your possession, in the people. Okay. Take no pride in your possession, in the people, in the youthfulness. That is, those three things. Take no pride in your possession, in the people, in the youthfulness. Time loots away all this in a moment. Leaving aside all this, after knowing their illusory nature, realize the state of Brahman and enter into it. So basically, that's what each paragraph explained it. This, how whatever possessions you have are youth, and also I mean, thinking like my people, my things, all my stuff, that attachment.
Kate kanta kaste putraha.
Yeah.
And balastavat krida sakta. All those are those shlokas which tell us about the temporary nature and fleeting nature of all of this, right?
Right.
Of our abilities, of wealth, of our relationships.
So actually, one in this place, where it said wealth is never constant, it goes one person to another person, which is all true, we see it in life all the time.
It has to flow. It should not be stagnant.
That is why Lakshmi is portrayed as being on water.
Yeah,
water
and we call it as currency. Currency means it has to flow.
Chanchala Lakshmi. Lakshmi is always chanchala. She's always moving.
Yeah. So, but people are hiding it somewhere.
Yeah, then it becomes stagnant and then it
Right.
starts stinking.
Yeah.
So you have to, that is why our ancient people have advised, from the money you earn, you have to save some. You 1/4 of what you earn has to be given to service, has to be given away as charity, as dana.
Say that again. 1/4 to
1/4 you can save. 1/4 you have to give as charity, and the other you can use for your daily requirements. You need money to live, right? So that is so some part of what we earn has to be given away as charity, and you don't go on hoarding it.
Right. Sure. Yeah. To help people.
And that's what Bhagavad Gita also says, no? Yajna dana tapah karma na tyajet. Don't give up your yajna, dana, and tapa. These three you have to continue doing.
Yeah. So every thing you take, how nicely they explain all this is illusion, temporary nature, and where you have to move forward to seek Govind. Sakshi Chaitanya. Everywhere time he brings it in different perspective, right? One's own identification with the perceiver, feeler, and thinker in oneself. So you're so it's like body, mind, intellect. He putting it in that order. And then the Sakshi Chaitanya is a witness.
All this is because of that ego sense, no? The feeling of I. And for that I, we do all kinds of things to preserve that I. Whether it is fame, name, money.
Right. That ego is so difficult to get rid of, looks like. Yeah.
We have to understand the ego. Ego is also part of our existence, but we just have to understand it. Once we understand it, like Gurudev says, you don't need to fight the ego. Let it be in your pocket, like how you keep money in your pocket, you keep the ego also in your pocket. It serves its purpose, no? Only because of that you're able to function, work, and do whatever.
Right.
But understand it. And like Ramana said, when in the seat of meditation, in the seat of Nididhyasana, ask, who is this I? What is this I? Where am I coming from? Who am I? That who am I? Such a powerful question.
So when we say that you're not this, you're not that, like negating part, right? Even Nirvana Shatakam also says that, right? It's not I.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, it's true. Manobhya hankara chittani naham. That is, of course, there. All these are part of the world, part of Maya. They've all arisen out of Maya. So that is not me. Certainly, yes. But the whole problem.
But then we have to function as a function part of it. We still have to live with it, but then not over, paying attention to
aware.
that.
Awareness is the key. Yeah. Being aware wherever it is raising its 1,000 hoods. So many ways it can raise the ahankara.
Right. Then you have to control that.
Like we say in the course, feeling great is ahankara, feeling low is also ahankara. Feeling superior and inferior, both is ahankara. So, yeah. Maybe if anybody else wants to share, we'll share. Otherwise, we can play we have 10 minutes left. I think you can play the song until the 12th, 11th or 12th verse today.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Anyone wants to add it?
You can continue to share. I will go ahead and try that other. I'll try to post that other song while you're sharing.
No problem.
Sharing about other stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So then we'll close here today. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Can you hear okay, right?
We can't hear.
We can't hear, please.
Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Bhajagovindam Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Samprapte
Yes, we can hear.
Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukraham karane nahi nahi rakshati dukraham karane Bhajagovindam Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Mudajagiri Dhanagama Krishna Mudajagiri Dhanagama Krishna Guru Sadbuddhim Manasi Vikrishna Guru Sadbuddhim Manasi Vikrishna Yellabhase Nija Karmo Bhatum Yellabhase Nija Karmo Bhatum Vitam Tena Vinodaya Chitam Vitam Tena Vinodaya Chitam Bhajagovindam Bhajagovindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Nadiskandabhara Navidesham Nadiskandabhara Navidesham Vishwamada Mohavesham Vishwamada Mohavesham Ketanmamsa Vasadi Vikaram Ketanmamsa Vasadi Vikaram Manasi Vichim नलिनीदलगत जलमधितरलम् नलिनीदलगत जलमधितरलम् तद्वज्जीवितम् अतिशयचपलम् तद्वज्जीवितम् अतिशयचपलम् सिगते कह कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कह कासारः वयसि गते कह कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कह कासारः क्षीणे वृते कह परिवारः क्षीणे वृते कह परिवारः ज्ञाने दत्ते कह संसारः ज्ञाने दत्ते कह संसारः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते गुरुधन जन यौवन गर्वं हरति निमेषा काल सर्वं गुरुधन जन यौवन गर्वं हरति निमेषा काल सर्वं माया मयमिदम् अखिलं हित्वा माया मयमिदम् अखिलं हित्वा ब्रह्मपदं प्रविश विदित्वा ब्रह्मपदं प्रविश विदित्वा भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते विनयामिन्यो सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तो पुनरायतः विनयामिन्यो सायं प्रातः शिशिरवसन्तो पुनरायतः काल क्रीडति गच्छत्यायुः काल क्रीडति गच्छत्यायुः तदविनमुञ्चति आशावायुः तदविनमुञ्चति आशावायुः भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं